Keto Chow.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Chris,
I'm Miriam.
and we're from Keto Chow. Every week, we sit down every Tuesday night and talk about what's going on. This week, we actually have a special guest. We've got Bronson Dant. He's going to be joining us, and he'll be popping up in just a second. But it's going through this whole thing where it says that you want to subscribe to our channel.
So
and
try
everything
doing
like
that. Subscribe
Yeah,
to our
do
channel.
that. We do this on Facebook. We do it on Instagram. Well, no, Facebook, YouTube. There's Bronson. Hey, Bronson. So we do this weekly stream on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and Periscope. And tonight, we actually did a test run of this a while ago where Miriam was home and I was at work so that we could make sure this was going to work, because now we've got Bronson joining us via Skype. Ooh.
Fancy.
There he is. It may drop out and he might freeze, but he'll reconnect and everything will be fine. So, yeah.
So just be patient.
Just
We're
be
gonna
patient with us.
Try to get going. So Bronson here, we've been talking about the Dr. Fit and Fabulous training method. There's an app and it's called Train Heroic, but it's that method, and he wrote the app and is helping train people with Dr. Jamie Seaman, that's Dr. Fit and Fabulous, and the app is fantastic. And we've been doing a promotion with it. If you purchase $100 of Keto Chow, you can get a free month of this app, which it's so phenomenal. So,
Yeah.
Bronson, do you want to tell us a little bit about the app?
Yeah, sure. It's like you said, it's Train Heroic is the company that makes the actual app. And what we've done is we've taken a workout program that's based on functional fitness, and you download the app when you subscribe, and then you basically get 5 workouts a week sent right to your phone.
Okay.
Right. So the workouts include warm-ups and the actual workout, and there's some HIIT in it, so high intensity interval training. But the real cool part is that you get a coach, me, who you have access to. So when you have questions, if you need to modify something, if you're not sure how to do something, you have someone to go to that you can ask the questions. There's also a community piece where other people that are subscribed. So all the people that are in there can talk with each other, can talk about what they did in the workout, how they may have made a change, or, hey, I'm at a hotel, I didn't have this, so I did this instead. Things like that. How do you fit into your schedule? All that stuff is there. It's different than just getting a list of exercises to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have other people that you can talk to. You have videos that explain every movement, and you have a coach you have access to get help when you need it.
Yeah, well, and I really love the chat, the community feature that you say, because you get it on your phone, you get the little notifications, or you can get an email, and you can actually turn off those notifications. But I really enjoy seeing them pop into my phone, because it makes me want to go and work out, want to go try harder, and it makes me feel like I'm with these people. So
Right,
that's
exactly.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Yep. Okay, so we've got Joseph on and Rachel.
Oh, hi guys.
Rachel says, hey, what's up, family? Wendy says, greetings. Rachel, now, Bronson, you actually probably met Rachel in Omaha.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
She's one of the two crazy ketos. Her and Joe were gallivanting around.
Yes.
So she says, yay, Bronson, with a bunch of...
Hey.
Bunch of muscles.
I've actually been emailing with them, so yes, I have met them.
Nice,
Yep.
nice.
Carla says hello. Jason says, hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Ed says, hi, guys. And Rachel says, hey, Vivijay. Talking to Jason. So really quickly, before we get more in with Bronson, so just as far as Keto Chow goes, the flavor of the week this week is eggnog. I should not minimize that. There we go. Eggnog, which is really good. We actually were featuring one of Joe's recipes that he did for the Keto Chow
Holiday recipe challenge?
What was it? The eggnog
cannolis.
Cannolis.
Oh, they're good too.
So they're actually like filled with a cream that you make with eggnog
frosting on
and
top.
frosting on top, and I mean it's tight.
They're really good.
So anyway, and it's 20% off this week. That's the flavor of the week. So okay, so now that I've got that out of the way and I've reseated my
earphone
thing.
Yeah.
So
That's one. So we were joking around. So in order for us to properly hear Bronson and not have there be a whole bunch of echo, we have to have him piping into our earbuds so that, not a lot of echo. And he was joking around. He's like, I wonder how many times you're going to have to reseat those during the broadcast.
Oh, yeah, I'll probably be good because I have little tiny ears, and so they just stay right there.
Yeah, my problem is I have really tiny ears and they pop right out.
Oh,
So-
but I have to adjust this one every time, so I'm just not going to touch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking to Bronson. So now
So we have a couple of fitness questions that we've been asking around for. Would you like to go into those now, Bronson?
Yeah, we might as well. So these are questions that you've gotten from customers or your Facebook group, something like that.
Yeah.
General fitness with keto, and
Okay.
it's cool to ask an expert these things. So really quick, do you need to exercise, cardio, or weightlifting while on keto, or is it not necessary?
Is it the word necessary can get really tricky,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with mandatory. Is it mandatory?
Yes, nothing,
Absolutely required.
nothing is mandatory. Okay. If you have goals that you want to get to, chances are that exercising will help you get to those goals.
Okay.
From a cardio perspective, that does certain things for your body. From a weight training perspective, that does certain things for your body. I recommend combining both of them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You should never, you should not, I don't want to be absolute and say never. It's best to incorporate as many things that are going to affect a broader fitness spectrum than just to focus on just cardio or just strength.
That's 3,
right?
by the way.
So,
Dang it, I smiled and
So-
popped right
He was
out.
talking. You want me to get some tape?
Yes.
yeah, just got some got duct tape. Duct tape fits everything.
Yeah.
So the more you can move your body, moving your body as weight, moving weight around your body, moving weight resistance, whether it's bands or barbells or dumbbells or kettlebells or whatever. And the more you can get your heart rate up in combination, then the better you're going to see fat loss, the better you're going to see lean mass gain, the better you're going to improve your metabolic health in general. So both of them are recommended. Not necessary, not mandatory, but recommended, especially if you're doing keto. And I'll just add to that, it's better doing it on keto, right? Because when you are adapted, when you are a fat burning machine, okay, your inflammation is lower, so you recover faster, right?
Oh,
You're right. Your processing of fuel is better. You have better energy during the workouts, right? So theoretically, working out should be easier if you're keto than if you're on standard American diet.
Okay. Well, and so from what I'm hearing from you, and this is my understanding, is that working out is lifting weights, for instance, is for health. It's for flexibility. It's for all of those things. It's not for losing weight. I mean, it probably helps with that. And Blaine just says can confirm 100-pound weight loss without any exercising.
Yes, exactly. It's we could get into some real philosophical semantics and wordplay here. You do not absolutely have to work out to lose fat.
Okay.
You can do that simply by cutting out carbs and reducing that extra work that your body is doing, right? Becoming fat adapted is going to help you lose body fat.
Yeah.
It is easier to sustain fat loss if you build more muscle.
Okay.
I'll put it that way, without getting way too into the weeds on how everything goes.
Okay.
There you go.
So here's a personal question. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Have you seen when people do a lot of working out, lifting, whatever, exercising, have you seen like the saggy skin go down? So like if you lose a lot of weight and you have a whole bunch of skin, have you seen a lot of that improve with exercise?
It can, as you build mass, that will tighten that up a little bit, depending on the area. Again, everybody's different.
Yeah.
All right. Some people have more in different places than others. And sometimes it goes away with just time.
Yeah.
I have heard some people say that taking collagen helps. I don't know of anything specifically that will fix that. I don't even want to say fix that. That's not really the right word. That will change that appearance, right? I have some around my stomach, right? When I was 45 pounds heavier than I am now, I lost weight and I still have some around my stomach that annoys me. But at the same time, looking at the big picture, I'd rather be dealing with a little loose skin than whatever issues I had health wise when I was 45 pounds heavier than I am now.
Okay.
So I think mentality helps with that, understanding where you've come from and why you have that. I know a lot of people that have way more excess skin than I have who love it, because to them it's like, look, this is where I came from. This is a reminder of what I've gone through.
Badge of
So
honor.
I think how you look at it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay. So from the chats, Dana said, I can't see the chat. Yeah, Dana, that's actually because we have Bronson on, we're not putting the chat up on the video. Anyway, yeah. So you won't be able to see the chat from Facebook and YouTube, but we will. We can respond to it. Jason says, and of course you can jump into an ice bath like Dr. Seaman.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
That sounds like
absolutely.
fun. I decided I'd do my own cold therapy getting into the car and driving to work.
We
I mean, like,
also
you have to shiver while
we have
you're
a
driving.
lot of children
so.
who take long showers. So Blaine says dieting makes you look healthy, exercising makes you look sexy.
Hey,
So.
I want to look sexy. I like that idea.
I like that. Can I write that one down?
You
Can I
go
steal
right
that? I like that.
So, okay, so that was that question.
So here's actually a really good question. We've heard of people who stop losing weight on keto once they start exercising. Why do you think that is, and should you still exercise anyway?
Okay. Yes, you should exercise anyway.
Okay.
I would bring us back to a discussion I have with a lot of people when we talk about weight, and that is, let's not talk about weight.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about body fat percentage and lean mass.
Okay.
Okay, so if you break up your body composition into fat weight and lean mass weight, muscle weight, bone, all that kind of stuff, when you're trying to get healthy, improve your metabolic health,
Okay.
get rid of insulin resistance and all that kind of stuff, we talk about weight a lot, but what we're really talking about is decreasing your body fat percentage.
Okay.
Yeah.
The amount of fat that's on your body. Specifically, that's what I worry about. As you work out, you may lose some weight. If you have a lot of body fat, you may lose some weight, but you're also going to start building muscle. And there may be a time where the weight you lose from fat and the weight you gain from muscle kind of meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you're not losing any weight anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
Right?
So you're
But
gaining muscle then.
you're gaining muscle, right? But
there we
you're
go.
right. But your clothes are magically still getting bigger. How are my clothes getting
Wow,
bigger?
that's
Right?
good.
These things are happening, right?
This is
So-
the same thing that happens to women typically when they start a keto diet. The scale won't move at all.
Yep.
Their husband's losing weight, but they're not. The wife isn't losing any weight.
Yeah, she's
but-
losing inches.
but she's losing
not
inches, so it's the
necessarily
same
a
sort of
number
thing.
on the scale.
And if they're exercising, chances are, this isn't a rule, but in most cases that I've seen, guys have more muscle mass to start with percentage wise.
Okay.
So if the wife and the husband start working out together and doing keto together, right, she's gaining a higher percentage of muscle faster than he is.
Okay.
So he's losing weight because he's losing more fat, but not gaining muscle as quickly.
Oh, so you're saying girls are better? Okay.
Right.
I got that. I got that.
Right. So the woman could be gaining some more muscle faster than he is,
Okay.
Yes.
but it seems like he's losing faster. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole weight versus fat thing.
Okay.
The weight versus fat thing, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
The other thing is, when you start working out, you might need to eat more.
Yeah, that is another
Right.
question. Like I was talking about before we even started on, is you're working out and you're working up an appetite. So say you're putting your macros into Chronometer and you put in your exercise, right? And all of a sudden you have 500 more calories than you had earlier that day because you put your exercise in. So then the calories went up. Can you eat those calories or not?
Wow, we're going to go into a whole nother thing. So I personally don't look at calories.
Okay.
I look at grams of protein, grams of fat, and grams of carbs, right?
Okay.
And I basically go off of I work through with people. I get a number and I say, here's how much protein you should have.
Okay.
Here's how much carbs in grams. And then I have them hit that as their goal. What calories end up being, I don't really care.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So you
What
put
I
your
would
macros
say-
into Chronometer and then you just stick with those.
I would
Okay.
do that. You need to make sure you're getting enough protein
Yeah.
to recover
Okay.
and build, and then you need to make sure you're getting enough fuel to fuel your body. but not more than you need, because you still want to burn body fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So in that situation, I would say play around with it. Right. If you feel like, hey, I did a workout today and I burned 300 extra calories, what happens if I don't eat those calories? How does that work if I try that for a couple of weeks? Do I
Yeah.
lose faster? Do I gain? Do I stall? What happens?
Well, and
Okay,
are
let me
you
eat that
feeling
and see
good?
kind of,
Like if
yeah,
you
do you
don't
feel
feel
like you
good, you
have
probably shouldn't
energy?
eat, right?
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. So you play around. This is where we get into feeling your body and being mindful of what's happening and how what you put in your mouth or don't put in your mouth affects you.
Okay.
Right. So I got a couple questions that have come in. Number one, Travis said he went from 340 to 229 in a year
Oh, wow.
using Keto
Wow,
Chow. So he was doing Keto
fantastic.
Chow 3 times a day for a whole year. No plans on stopping. He says thanks.
Oh, that's
So that's
nice.
fantastic. Stephanie wants to know. Now this is going to be a long one, so we'll get to yours in just a second, Stephanie, because that's anyway.
Do I need to write this down?
Well,
Okay.
no, you'll hear it
Might need
anyway.
to write a report on it, and then we'll just send it to
So,
her in the email.
Jay Morales says, love seeing the collaboration.
Oh, hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay, what's up?
Here's an easier one that you might be able to answer. What do you think of at-home body fat scales? Do you think they're reliable for measuring body fat?
If you are only using that and that is what you consistently use on a regular basis, then you're probably fine, because it's more about consistent numbers
Okay.
and looking at the variation
Okay, so the
than it is
relative
about being
number.
specifically accurate. It's a relative number. They are not nearly as accurate as an in-body or a DEXA scan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at it to be able to quantify to yourself and say, I am at,
Yes.
then you might want to change that to says, my scale at home says I'm at.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
But you can say to a fairly good level of reliability that I was showing on my scale at home 29% body fat, and now I'm showing 23% body fat.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a good way to track
Right.
progress.
Right.
Not
So use
absolute
the same
numbers.
scale.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Blaine wants to know, endurance on keto. I want to run a competitive long distance race. Do I need extra carbs?
No. I don't know how long you've been training. I don't know what your training regimen is, if you've been doing carbs in and out of your training. The longer you go without carbs, the better you will perform athletically.
Period.
Especially for like
Period.
endurance and long distance things,
Especially.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that's the short version, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Jason says, I have to do a low intensity due to my heart currently. What kind of
Okay.
low intensity training do you recommend?
Oh gosh, there's a ton of different things. I would probably start with something that is movement and mobility focused, like yoga, Pilates.
Okay.
Would swimming
There's a
qualify
good,
for that?
Swimming's like a huge workout.
yeah.
Well, it depends on how much you're swimming.
There's certain things you can
Standing
do.
in a pool.
There's things you can do in a pool that could be good.
Okay.
But I don't know about swimming.
All right.
There's another program, if you want to look it up, called Kin Stretch.
KIN?
That is KIN Stretch. It's one word.
Okay.
I know they have different locations throughout the country. I'm not sure exactly how big, if they're in your area, but I would look for that. It's a fantastic mobility training program
Okay.
that can help with all kinds of different things.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
so Jason can stretch.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So Stephanie wanted to know, what is a healthy weight for a female that's 5'6"?
We probably need to age too.
That was the
Okay.
one that was the loaded question that was going to
that's the
be.
loaded
How
question.
about
difficult.
okay, so I'll repeat. I'm not worried about your weight. I would say
there you
that
go.
a healthy body fat percentage for a woman is in the, let's just say, everyone's a little different, but I'll give a broader range than normal. We'll say 18 to 24%
Okay.
body fat, somewhere
That's
in that
low.
range, based on your level of activity. There's a lot of different things that go in there, but somewhere in that range is what I would look for getting a woman if she came to work with me.
Okay.
Okay. And that's a good answer because
Because yeah, weight is relative,
yeah.
right?
Joe from Two Crazy Ketos pointed out that Keto Savage, so Robert Sykes,
Yeah.
did a half marathon with no carbs.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
So,
Ask Zach Bitter how his runs go.
oh yeah, there you go. And Blaine,
100 miles.
yeah. Well, and Blaine wanted to know, was it a competitive time or did he simply complete the half marathon? That's a good question. Do you happen to recall Robert Sykes?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I don't know either.
I didn't know what his time was. Who was it that was asking about the endurance?
That's Blaine.
Blaine.
Yeah.
Blaine, look up Zach Bitter, human performance outliers. Zach Bitter, ultra marathoner, low carbs, mostly carnivore guy.
Okay.
Got multiple records. He just last year he did 100 miles. I think it was like a 6.5 or under 7-minute mile an hour pace.
That's cool.
Whoa.
Like ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Ridiculous.
That's like what people used to be sprinting at.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh man. Okay.
So if you want goals, look this guy up.
Okay, Zach
Right?
Bitter, huh? So Joe, well, actually, I'm assuming this is Rachel, because he said,
'Cause
it says after not being able to move for so long because of morbid obesity, and in Joe's case, a debilitating injury, moving really is a privilege. It's work, but
Yeah.
at least we're able to get the job now.
So
Awesome.
So that reminds me of one of the Instagram pieces you did on your Instagram right as Omaha started. You were talking about how we need to work on fitness at every level and that we should look at fitness differently. So do you want to maybe kind of go into your message on that?
Yeah, I think just in general, when people see, let's just use Instagram as an example, right? You go, if you do hashtag fitness on Instagram,
No, I don't,
everyone,
because
right?
You don't want to feel
Or
sad.
even, keto fitness,
Yeah.
low carb fitness, any kind of fitness, right? And you're gonna see all these people that look like they're on magazines or should be on a magazine
Yeah.
or on a show
Yeah.
or something like that, right? And you see people talking about getting started in transformations. They may show I've got stuff on mine, where I was, where I am today.
Yeah.
But people don't see the journey and realize that, I started with the ultimate dad bod in my mid 30s,
Yeah.
right? I was 45 pounds overweight. My daughter took a picture of me at the beach one day and I was like, holy crap, where did that come from? I need to make a change. And so I started. And everyone has to go through that. And we don't talk about that enough. I think we talk about the science behind exercise. We talk about, how to build muscle. We talk about when you should fast. We talk about, all these different things when it comes to working out and performance, right? But probably 90% of the people that are out there don't care about performance. They care about not having a hurt back when they pick up their kid.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the kind of stuff that we need to talk about. Like, how do these concepts translate into what people do and deal with every single day?
Yeah. Well, especially with
Yeah.
debilitating illnesses
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
I mean, my mom was 400 pounds. What could she do? She walked
Right.
up the stairs to do the laundry, and that was, that's the
Right.
amount of exercise she did. What do you start from there to get somewhere that doesn't, feel unattainable?
Right. And working through step by step and helping people figure out, okay, this is where you are, what's next. Right. Because you're going to get to a point, and that's the process. Nobody goes from 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds overweight and starts doing CrossFit right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Now they can, don't get me
could.
wrong. They absolutely could. If the coaches at that gym are good, they will find a way to make the CrossFit methodology work for that person.
Yeah.
Right. They will scale and modify the movements. They will scale and modify the weights. They will coach them through the exercises and make sure they're doing them without getting hurt. And it will look very different than what anybody else in the gym is doing, and it will work for them. Right. But it takes a different mentality for a lot of people to say, hey, I'm going to go to that gym and do that.
Yeah.
There are people that have done it, and it's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Most people will probably want to start at home, right? Maybe get a personal trainer so that they don't feel like they're overwhelmed with everything. I highly recommend getting a personal trainer or a coach. I highly recommend finding, if you can't afford that, find some kind of a program like the Fit and Fabulous Training Method that provides the workouts, provides a resource for you to ask questions and kind of move at your own pace. Right, Miriam, you were saying earlier that you looked at the workouts and some of the stuff you don't think you can do or you're not sure if you're ready for yet, but you've been modifying and scaling it, right? You know, you can still follow the workout plan. You just do it in such a way that it works for you where you are right now. And that's the goal of it. That's what we have it there for.
Yeah. Well, and will you remind me how much it actually costs per month?
25.
24.99 a month.
And that's not that expensive for something that you can do at home. It's safe. Nobody has to see you if you feel uncomfortable. You have all these people cheering you on. You don't even have to know them, you know, and you can modify the movements. And what's so cool is you can, you know, you personally will answer the questions and say, hey, do it with this band instead. You don't have that, do this. And so it's actually been really good. Like $25 a month, you can't get a personal trainer for that. So that's been my experience, just seeing how the app moves.
Yep.
So should we go to the next question?
Sure.
Good. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one. After starting keto,
By the way, Sean Tam said hi from Stansbury Park,
Oh, hi,
Utah.
Sean Tam. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I lost my place. After starting keto, when should I incorporate weight training?
The same time you start keto.
Just anytime. You don't
Just
have to
anytime.
wait till like
Whatever
day 3
time, whenever you feel comfortable and you feel motivated and you feel, okay, I need to make this change, go do it. There's never, I actually said this, and I said this somewhere else today. There's never a bad time to start working out. It is always a.
Okay. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, and I think I kind of feel like in our keto journey, there's a time when you feel like you could just run up the stairs because you finally got enough energy.
Yeah.
That you,
What am I going to do?
yeah, you feel like
it's
you
like
can move.
you're going to be going, you're like walking up the stairs and you're like, hey, I got all this extra energy. And what do I do with it? Just run upstairs.
And that, you know, may be a good
just
time
that
to start.
5 more times.
Yeah, there you go. So only we can hear that way.
Yeah, and that's really, I do that 5 times, but really, maybe that's how you get started.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that is. Maybe, you know what? I feel good. I walked up the stairs and I wasn't out of breath. I can do it again. Go downstairs,
Yeah.
walk up the stairs again.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that's how you get started. Hey, I did 10 flights of stairs at home today. Maybe I'm at a point where I can go outside and go for a 2 mile or a mile walk. Like it can be anything.
Yeah.
That's so great. Yeah.
So let's see. Christopher says, pre-keto early last year, I had a personal trainer. It was great until I got scleroderma. I'm not sure how you say that.
A health problem.
A health problem, and all of a sudden I lost mobility in all my joints. I started having crazy joint pain and had to quit. So glad keto has gotten rid of all that pain and I can exercise again. No new personal trainer yet, though.
Oh, but that's still good that you conquered that.
Yeah.
So 2 crazy ketos. I had to stop myself saying, yuck, math, when my kids were doing homework because I didn't want them to form a dislike of that subject because of me.
True that.
Same for fitness. I want them to see me moving.
Yeah. And
That's
spiders.
awesome.
When I was when my kids were little, I pretended I wasn't afraid of spiders so that they would be brave. And guess what?
Nice.
They're brave.
Nice.
There
Nice.
you go.
Right.
Yeah. For anybody that has kids, I've been training for many years, and
To have kids?
I've trained kids. I have kids. I've trained kids. But as a coach and working with parents of kids, there is nothing of all of the things that I enjoy about coaching. There is nothing at all that is more gratifying than watching kids watch their parents work out.
Really?
Right? When you are training somebody and you see their kid in the playroom doing burpees because that's what their mom's doing when they look out the window, and you know that kid is getting started off right, that is just such a great feeling.
I don't know if my kids will ever see me do burpees.
Well, burpees, I don't know about that, but we were doing the not P90X because that thing's crazy, but we were doing the
P90 last year. I actually really love it.
And one of our daughters, just for fun, wanted to do it as well.
Yeah.
It was kind of
See,
funny.
and it sets them up and lets them know that exercise is okay and that they can do it. That's the 2 things. It's okay. It's not abnormal because in today's society, it's kind of an abnormal thing.
Yeah.
right? It's okay. And number two, they can do it. It's something that is attainable for them.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
cool. Okay, so here's a good one too. How do I get over a plateau when I'm so close to my goal weight?
Okay, that could be answered a lot of different ways, and without knowing anything about this person's background or
Yeah.
what they've done, where they are, any of that kind of stuff, I would say a couple things you can do.
Sorry. That was
Uh,
that was my. I was trying to share the video we're doing on a different page, and I can't do it on my computer because that locks it up. So I'm having to do it on my phone.
Gotcha,
Anyway,
gotcha.
please continue. I'm sorry.
Chris is
No,
good
that's
at
okay.
distracting.
I am.
There's a couple things that you can try. Again, without knowing, without actually working with the person one-on-one, these are some of the things that would be on my list of things to attempt or to look at. Would be protein intake, right? Increase your protein or start getting what you should be getting. Potentially, they're not getting enough protein already.
Okay.
So I'd say make sure the protein's good. I don't know what they're doing for fat. Maybe they're at 80%, 90% fat, right? If their protein is low, they're probably eating too much fat.
Okay.
Maybe stop adding fat to everything and just eat the fat that comes with your food.
Okay.
Right? If you're getting a lot of meat and you're doing a lot of animal stuff, you're probably getting the fat that you need. You don't need to add fat. So if you're doing MCT in your coffee, if you're doing fat bombs, if you're doing butter and everything, like maybe cut it back, right? I've seen that work for people. It happened to me when I first started. So I'm carnivore. I'm not really just keto. I'm all the way in.
Okay.
Right? I've got the covers all the way over my head. Um, So when I first started, I was doing that. I was cooking all my steaks, cooking everything in butter. I was cooking my eggs in butter. I was eating a ton of eggs. I was doing MCT oil, doing butter in my coffee. Like I was getting so much. And when I first started, when I was getting adapted, it worked.
Okay.
Right. I got to a point. I lost a good percentage of body fat. And then for about a month, I was like, hey, nothing's happening. So I increased my protein and I stopped adding. I didn't cut fat. I just stopped adding fat.
Okay.
Right. And then boom, it started up again.
Oh.
Right. So those are two things potentially. Another one is do more than cardio. I don't know what this person's workout routine is who
Yeah.
asked this question. If they're just doing cardio, I would highly recommend some resistance training because once again, when you build muscle, you're increasing your body's demand for fuel. So you're going to burn fat more.
Okay.
Right. And you'll get into that fat burn again. And then the last thing is try to reduce stress.
Oh, hey, that's a good
Right.
one.
Yeah, I've been trying to
Try
do
to
that,
reduce
but
stress.
I'm super stressed about it.
Right. The biggest way you can reduce stress is to get more sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, we should all try
Right.
that.
Try to get more sleep.
Yeah.
That's that. Without getting into all the other things that you could do to reduce stress, I would just say try to get more sleep and see if that helps.
Yeah, I would show you what my aura says about my sleep habits.
It's not
But you would be
good.
really sad.
Although you got an hour more sleep than I did last night.
Really?
Yeah, that
Well,
never
you must
happens.
have not gotten anything.
I didn't sleep that good, but that's okay.
Okay, so a couple people had questions.
Okay.
So let's see. Dana said, I've been going to a personal trainer since August. He's not fond of me choosing keto as my lifestyle and always tries to sway me the other ways. But I think he's finally got
Stay
that
strong.
I'm not changing.
Stay strong.
Oh yeah, she says she's not changing.
And Dana
Okay.
says he is old school, so maybe he just doesn't know enough about this lifestyle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
way to go, keeping it up.
If he's open to the idea of looking into it, there are plenty of places that he can go and look at athletics and keto and how that stuff works.
yeah.
I know, let's see, has a Facebook group
Yeah.
that's Keto Athlete.
Oh yeah, the Keto Athlete.
Right.
podcast
Keto
and
Athlete.
whatnot.
I know, Keto Gains is a great one. Muscle Intelligence is a great one. There's a ton of things out there for ketogenic bodybuilding is another one. So there's plenty of resources out there for any trainer who is actually interested in learning and becoming better at their craft to provide the proper information to their clients.
Yes,
Nice.
but the proper human diet.
Not keto, it's the proper human diet.
Yes.
The
Yes.
proper
Another
human
thing
diet
that Dr.
is the
Barry likes to
is
talk
the right
about.
one. Here's a question that I wanted. There's a lot of controversy about this. If you're doing intermittent fasting, is it better to work out before, during, or after your fast?
Try all three and see what works best for you.
And yes, that's what I was going to say
Okay.
too. Because I think a lot of people
Yes.
do fast and exercise, but if you're dehydrated, that's not super healthy either. So if
Yeah,
you're not
and
paying
so-
attention to your electrolytes.
rabbit hole alert.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'll just, okay. For most people, I this is the way that I look at it, and when I'm looking at where people are at, I look at intermittent fasting as, if you want to label it, a more advanced protocol that most people aren't ready for yet.
Okay.
Right? If you're not fat adapted, you don't need to be worried about intermittent fasting. That's how I look at
Okay.
it. Right now, there are some people who have tried everything that's on the list of, hey, this isn't working, and maybe intermittent fasting can be a tool, right? Because everything's a tool, right? So maybe
I'm a
intermittent
tool.
fasting. I'm glad you said that. She didn't say that.
My friends say that about me.
So potentially you can use intermittent fasting. The problem that I see with intermittent fasting is that too many people jump to it too quick.
Okay.
Right? They just go, oh, keto and intermittent fasting. That's what you're supposed to do. You do that together and everything's fine. Well, when you do that, what happens is then you're doing intermittent fasting. You don't know what it really is or how it really works. So you end up not getting the calories and the food that you really need because you're doing it wrong in the first place, and not being metabolically healthy and not really being fat adapted on top of it. Like, it just compounds issues. So I would prefer to work through them to that point.
Okay.
Right. So if you have not been if you are not fat adapted and you don't have that as a lifestyle that you are comfortable and you can sustain, I wouldn't worry about intermittent fasting. If you're not working out after you've gotten that healthy keto lifestyle down and can sustain it, I wouldn't worry about intermittent fasting. If you have a workout routine and you know how your body responds to working out,
Okay.
and you are sustaining a keto lifestyle and you know how your body responds when you eat certain foods or don't eat certain foods, then I would say do intermittent fasting because you already understand the first two pieces.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. And then we already answered the carb cycling one. No carbs ever, which we happen to agree with you on that one.
Now there are some like high endurance athletes like Danny Vega. He's big into carb cycling.
Yeah, and it's preference, right? So, and this is
Yeah.
the challenge with carbs is they don't not work,
Okay.
That's a double negative.
right? So you can't, because our body will use it, right? It is a
Yeah.
fuel. It does provide energy,
Yeah.
right? There are some additional things it brings along with it in the sidecar, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right? That we may or may not want to deal with. If you are at the point where you are metabolically healthy and generally fit or above average in your fitness level, and you
Which
decide that you
Danny
want to
Vega
use
is.
carbs, right? Like Danny is. If you decide that you want to use carbs and it's not going to negatively affect your progress, who's to say not to do it?
Well, and it's
Right?
not like Danny's sitting there eating Skittles
Exactly.
or something like that. He's
That's a whole different. That's a
yeah.
IFYM. That's a whole different discussion, right? If you're somebody who's metabolically unhealthy and you're still trying to get to a point where you can, let me just put it this way: being healthy gives you a lot more leeway to be unhealthy,
Okay.
if that makes any sense.
So you have to make deposits before you can make a withdrawal,
Yes,
huh?
make all that. Get yourself in the positive. Get yourself where you've got that flexibility to say, you know what, I'm going to do carbs in this instance because it's easier, because it fits my lifestyle better.
Yeah.
I like this better, whatever it is. But get to that point first, and then you can make adjustments and do more stuff that's lifestyle oriented than it is trying to get yourself healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And once again, we're not talking about eating the rolls at Texas Roadhouse. We're
Right.
talking about you're like eating plain white rice.
Right,
to
sweet
get
potatoes,
yourself
some
into the
potatoes, or
body.
whatever. Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. We could, if at any point in time anybody wants to listen to me for an hour and a half talk about keto junk food, then
Yes.
we could totally go there.
Okay.
Or we could just throw the junk food in the garbage and
Yeah.
not talk about
Right?
it.
Yeah, let's do
It's
that.
gone. It's out.
So again, we're talking about carb cycling, not recreational eating carbs for fun.
Right.
Okay.
And
Using
that
it
is
as a tool.
that's really another good point, right? If you're going to do it after you've gotten past that health goal and you're now looking at fitness stuff, or whatever, it needs to be done with purpose
And
and
as a
intent,
tool.
and have a
Yeah.
result that you can measure, so you know if it's working or not.
So not 10 Pop-Tarts for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not actually.
Well, and my
helpful.
limiting factor right now is not glucose. My limiting factor is finding the time to do the actual exercises. So I have no need to do that sort of thing because I'm not at that level.
Yeah.
So
Right. Your challenge is just getting the work in, right? So
Yep.
do this every time you sit down in a chair, do it 10 times.
Oh,
Okay.
sit down in the chair 10 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that as one of my movements for Get Fit February. Is
There you go.
squats in a chair, which is
Yeah.
awesome because Sandra and I were talking about it. You actually use more muscles doing squats in a chair because you're sitting down and standing up in addition to just going and doing, like you have
Yeah.
momentum when you do a squat, but you're actually letting go and then having to move your muscle again to stand up out of the chair. So I'm like,
There you go.
So Tina had a question. Bronson, do you have any experience with keto rash?
I actually, of all the people I've worked with, I've never had anybody get it.
Okay, that's interesting.
So I personally have not seen it. I mean, I've heard that people get it, but
Yeah.
I have not seen or had to deal with it yet, which is kind of interesting.
kind of
Now
awesome.
that you say that,
This
yeah.
is what it is.
So I personally had a bout with it. I
Okay.
ended up getting erythromycin, and
Okay.
that helped. Also, it may have been that I didn't actually have keto rash, and what I just had was we live in a desert. It gets down to like 15% humidity here during
Yeah,
the
it could be
winter.
like eczema
And
type of thing.
so it was more of a maybe I just need to put lotion on.
Who knows?
So
Okay.
anyway,
I think on there's probably some, and I can write this down. Maybe I'll get back to you guys and you can post it or something. I'll do a little bit of digging and see if I can find a good remedy for keto rash. There's got to be
Yeah.
something out there.
I know Dr. Barry has a video on keto rash. We could.
Yeah.
there you go.
That's, you know what? That's probably the best place to go.
Dr. Barry,
Yeah, that'd
keto
be
rash.
Dr.
Done.
Barry. Dr. Barry, keto rash. Keto rash, keto aid. We're good.
Yeah. The last question we had was, if my primary goal is weight loss, which will get me better results, weight/strength training or cardio?
Ooh, is weights better or cardio?
But I think you're going to go with the combo, right?
Yeah. I'm going to go with the combo.
And is it better to do like cardio one day and weights the next day, and then cardio the next day, or do you want to do all of it in one day?
If you move weights fast enough, you can get in cardio.
What if you can't do that?
You can do them both in the same day, right? Again, try to balance it out, see what works with your schedule. If you only have 30 minutes to work out a day, then I would say maybe do alternating days. Maybe you do cardio one day, you do weights another day, and you alternate. If you have an hour and a half to put in, you can easily do both. If you only have an hour, like the best thing you can do for all around fitness, is find a program that follows a functional fitness methodology that includes some cardio, includes some movement and mobility, includes some strength training, includes some metabolic conditioning, and has all that stuff packaged into a session at a time, right? So the Fit and Fabulous training method does that. CrossFit gyms do that. There's other functional fitness facilities, some kettlebell gyms that do that. Like there's places that you can find where you can join a class or you can get one-on-one training that can provide kind of a combination of all those aspects in one session when you go in.
And get it out.
You just get it done. Yeah.
And feel good. I noticed the more I've been exercising, the endorphins just help me going. I have more energy for the rest of the day. Even though I'm exhausted from exercising,
Yeah.
the rest of the day I feel like I'm not as tired. So I really enjoy that endorphins. That's what I keep calling it. Is it endorphins the right word?
Mhm.
Yep.
So
And it's not just endorphins. It's also that self-realization of you're doing something for yourself. So there's
Yeah.
a motivating factor that's like, hey, I'm starting off my day doing this. I can take on the world now.
and feel accomplished. And
Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
So Stephanie has a question. This is kind of funny. What is the deal with while losing, your veins will get huge in your arms and legs, and then they aren't huge anymore, and then they're huge again?
Does she mean like during working out?
I know. I mean,
Just as while you're working out and your blood is pumping and everything's going, like
I don't know. I think she's talking about, at least she's experienced, when she's losing weight, her veins will stick out, and then they stop sticking out, and then they start sticking out again months
called
later.
vascularity, and that can be hydration, that can be body fat percentage, there can be a lot of things that kind of go in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sodium intake, like there's
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that kind of go into that. Usually, I would say most commonly would just be hydration and body fat percentage. Yeah.
Okay.
But also, if you're working out and you start getting, I mean, your blood's pumping, like your heart rate's up, you got stuff going on, your veins are going to show more.
Yeah. At what point are you supposed to spray yourself orange and go stand up on the thing?
When you have muscles that look nice, that's when you're supposed to do that.
We should get Danny to do that for one of his next talks. Show up with just brown tan stuff all over him.
I don't think he needs it. He's colored already.
Yeah.
they still do it.
Although
Yeah. You got to be
he'd
really
pretty
dark.
hairy. I think he has a pretty hairy chest.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he would have to shave to do a bodybuilding show.
It's
We get
true.
Rob to do it. Rob does it. That's what Rob Sykes does. He's a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Has he done one recently?
I think he's training for one now.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So,
So the purpose of our message for today is to find a fitness program that works for you, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Get up and move.
Get up and move.
Realize that the fitness is great on any level and all levels, and you should think about it.
Yep.
Get up, move.
Yeah. I got 4 things actually.
Okay.
But I want everyone to walk away with a couple things. One, you can do more than you think you can.
Okay.
Okay. If you don't try, you'll never know. Do something. Try something. Get out and go for a walk. Walk up the stairs 5 times. Sit up and down in your chair 10 times. Whatever it may be. Do something more than you're doing now. There's a concept called progressive overload, and that basically means that the only way to get better is if you do more than you've done before.
okay.
Great.
Right? Change requires change. If you want to get better, you have to change something.
Okay.
Okay. And you can. That's the big thing. You can. Everybody can do it. And along those lines, this is going to sound bad, okay, but you're not special,
Oh, that's sad.
right? And what I mean by that is there's nothing that you're dealing with in your life that somebody hasn't already dealt with and overcome it.
Yeah.
Okay. You are special. Everybody is special. I don't want you to take that the wrong way, but your circumstances do not determine if you can be successful getting fit. Right? Your desire and your determination to do that is what will make that successful. Okay. There's nothing that you can't do if you don't put your mind to it. If you put your mind to it. All right. Then the other thing is be patient. Please be patient. Please be patient. It's going to take time. That was my post today on my Instagram. Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't happen overnight. Right. I started my fitness journey when I was almost 40 years old. Okay. I was 45 pounds overweight. I had herniated discs in my neck. I had bad back, bad shoulders, bad knees, all these things. And, I'm going to be 48 this year, and I'm in better shape than I was when I was 22.
Wow.
Okay. It takes time. That's almost 8 year. That's an 8-year, journey from where I was to where I am today. It doesn't happen overnight. If you are 35 years old or 40 years old and you're 50 pounds, 60 pounds, 100 pounds overweight, you didn't get there overnight.
Yeah. It took you a couple of years to get that way.
It took you some time to get there. It's not going to happen in a month. It's not going to happen in 3 months, right? It may not happen in 2 years, but you will be better in 2 years. You will be better in 3 months than you were today, as long as you do something to move forward. And it's that difference, that progress that we're trying to get, right? I'm not trying to get you to look like your 5 year from now self next week. Right? So be patient with it. And then the last thing is, don't be afraid to ask for help. Right? You guys are available. You have a forum where people can ask questions and get help. You have a product that people can use to help them, right?
Yeah.
That's why I love you guys. That's why I love what you do, because I think you have a purpose for your product and how you see it helping people make the changes that they need in their lifestyle and be successful. That's why I like Keto Brick, because I think he's got a very targeted purpose for what that does and how that fits in people's lives.
Yeah.
That's why we created the Fit and Fabulous training method, because we felt that there is a need for people to have a tool to follow something that gives them an answer to fitness that they can make fit in their lifestyle. And fitting it into your lifestyle is what makes it sustainable.
Yeah.
But if you don't ask for help, if you don't look for those things and ask the questions, how do I do it? There's no dumb question, right? If you don't ask the questions and take the answer and try to make it work, then nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yep, and just getting that support, I think, too. If you know you're going to be online today and that lady you met in Florida is going to be on there saying, did you work out today? Be like,
Right.
I am. I did it. I am going to not disappoint my support group, So it's helpful.
Absolutely. So that's what I just want to leave with those things. Everybody can do it. You can do it. We can do it. Hands across America.
Yay!
We're gonna start singing that song.
Yeah, we are the world.
Dumb song.
It's not a dumb song. It's a feel-good
Yeah,
song.
Dana says patience, consistency, and discipline is what it takes.
Yep.
And we got Colin and Charlie on. Hey.
Hey, nice.
So, well, sweet. So did we talk enough about the now you're working with Jamie Seaman, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And for anybody who doesn't know who Dr. Jamie Seaman is, can you explain a little bit about that? And actually, we didn't hear your story, man.
My story?
Yeah, we just heard that
Well,
you
we
were
talked
like,
about how I was overweight, and
yeah, and
no,
you
I'm
had
not.
dad bod, but
Yeah. Well, what do you want to know? Ask a question. What do you want to know?
so what's your background?
I was in active duty Army for 5 years. Then I was in the Guard for 12.
Okay.
While I was in the Guard and after, I was an IT contractor for 20 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Towards the end of my IT career, I got into fitness and opened a gym. I ran across a gym for 5 years. And then I sold that a few months ago, and I've been doing online coaching and trying to kind of get this fitness presence online going for the past few months. So I've been working with Dr. Seaman and trying to grow that service.
And then did you go keto and then carnivore, or did you just jump right into carnivore?
So no, I kind of did I think it's pretty popular, this whole path, right?
Paleo.
Paleo, then keto, then
Keto.
carnivore, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't necessarily say that I was keto. Like if someone had asked, are you keto? I'd have been like, I don't know. I just don't eat that many carbs, right? That's just kind of how I looked at it.
Yeah.
So I was a whole food, low carb. I didn't really focus too much on fat, but that's kind of where I was at. And then I heard about the carnivore diet and figured I'll give it a shot. I tried it for a few weeks, and then it's now almost 20 months.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I don't see myself ever going back.
How's that scurvy treating you?
Oh man, it's horrible. It's horrible.
For any that don't know, that's
I can't find my finger, right?
Because the idea is that you can only get vitamin C from like vegetables, except that there's quite a bit of vitamin C in the liver, and there's a reduced requirement for vitamin C with lower insulin, among other things.
Right. Lower carbs in general.
Yeah.
You don't need vitamin C as much.
Yep. So every time I see Dr. Sean Baker,
right,
it seems like somebody asks him about scurvy.
Because he talks about it all the time. It's every couple of months he's like, "Yep, still alive, no scurvy."
Yep. So that seems to be working out well for you, huh?
I love it. I've been, I actually had a conversation today with some people online. Athletes as zero carb or low carb, it can be done. I did CrossFit. I did CrossFit for over a year at Carnivore. Everything got better. My training volume went up. My inflammation went down. My DOMs went down. My maximum recovery volume went up. My Metcons went up. My weights and everything went up. Like
Some of
everything
those
just
things that
got
you said
better.
I didn't understand.
Okay, so
Dom.
yeah, so I was not sore as much after my workouts.
Okay.
I was able to put as much energy into every workout for more workouts in a week.
Okay.
Right. So I before Carnivore, I was doing 3 workouts a week, and I was walking around feeling like I got hit by a truck.
Which is how I feel most of the time
Right.
when I exercise.
So after Carnivore, after about 2 to 3 months of doing Carnivore, because it took a little bit longer for the exercise portion, the adaptation to catch up. After about 2 to 3 months, I was at the point where I could do 5-6 days a week and not feel like I got hit by a truck.
Wow.
Right. So I saw more progress because I could work out 2 or 3 days more a week than I normally was.
You think that's mostly just less inflammation, or?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Most definitely. Everything just felt better. Right. All of my maximum strength lifts went up like crazy. All of my metabolic conditioning, all of my high intensity interval training workouts got better. I got faster. I did more reps. I did everything just went crazy. It was kind of weird. I had injuries that I'd been dealing with for years that kind of just disappeared.
Wow.
Not really. I mean, they couldn't have just disappeared, but like I haven't had to worry about them since I've been doing this. I have 2 labral tears. I have slap tears in both shoulders, and I've had a groin pull that I was dealing with for almost 2 years before I went carnivore. And I haven't had any groin issues in a year. And my slap tears, the only thing I can't do right now is overhead squats and snatches, which I don't really need to do in the first place. But I can do bar work, hipping bar work, gymnastics work. I can do all types of things that normally with a slap tear I wouldn't be able to do.
Wow.
So yeah, it's fantastic.
Now, okay, so here's where we get into the weeds a little bit. Are you doing primarily muscle, like skeletal muscle, or are you doing nose to tail? Are you throwing in
eating.
a little bit of organ
I
meats,
am.
or how are you doing that?
I'm a little bit of an aberration, actually.
Okay.
So I do mostly turkey meat.
Turkey meat.
Turkey's
Yeah,
delicious.
I am a ground turkey guy.
Seriously,
Yeah,
wow.
I do more ground turkey than I do red meat. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a
Do you
steak,
put
and I will
butter on
definitely.
it?
Nope.
Oh.
I do salt and cheese. That's it. Salt and cheese.
Cheese is almost butter, so that's okay.
Yeah. So, and this is a tip for everybody out there that wants to eat cheese but can't find good American cheese, because American cheese is my favorite. It took me 3 months to find it, but Boar's Head American cheese
Oh, boar's head, yeah.
is the only actual cheese that's American cheese that I've been able to find that doesn't have a bunch of chemicals and
Weird
doesn't have
coloring
processed
and
cheese,
stuff. Yeah.
culture, cheese product or any of that kind of crap. It's actual just cheese culture, enzymes, and salt. Like that's it. Like it's cheese. It's more expensive than Kraft singles, but you can actually eat it. Yeah. So my day looks like 6 to 8 eggs in the morning, with a little bit of butter, and then I have a lunch. Well, my breakfast is usually at like 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then then I eat again around 4, and that's about a pound of ground turkey with a couple slices of cheese. Then I usually do a shake, as a pre-workout,
Okay.
with coffee, egg whites, and a little bit of salt. And then I do a dinner later in the evening, and that is another pound of ground turkey with some cheese.
That's
That's my
interesting.
normal day. That's my normal day.
Nice.
Now, if I'm going out, I'm going to get a steak.
Huh,
There's no
okay.
question about that. I'm going to get a steak.
Yeah.
And then there are times where I'm at the store, if something's on sale, like, oh, I'm going to get that tenderloin because that's on sale today, right? So it's not like that's all I ever eat, but those are my go-tos. Partially because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
And cooking ground turkey, you can cook 3 pounds of ground turkey in like 15 minutes, and that's it for you. That's all you need for a couple of days, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you have one of
easy.
those star things that Pampered Chef has to split it up? Miriam got me one of those for
Yeah.
Christmas.
It's like the best thing ever, isn't it?
Well, I saw Joe with Two Crazy Ketos using one. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's a Pampered Chef. So now our daughter's using it to make her ground beef.
Yep.
Feels weird to
Yep.
make ground beef like
Yep.
this, but it works.
As far
good.
as supplementation goes, the only thing I add in, because I don't personally like the flavor and I don't like eating organ meats, is I do dissected beef liver tablets.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I do beef liver every day, but it's in tablet form.
Yeah, I actually do that too, and we recommend that to a lot of women who do keto chow who want to do 3 keto chows a day, because it doesn't have as much iron as a woman who's menstruating needs. And so I like give those to my daughters too. They just have the beef liver tablets, and
Yep.
they just don't taste like anything. So it's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jason wants to know, do you have an auto grill?
What's an auto
I
grill?
do not. I do not. I just use my stove
Okay.
because I'm doing ground beef. I'm doing ground turkey most of the time. So,
Yeah, just
and
do
if I
pan.
do a steak, I'll just throw it in my oven.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. Well, there you go. So why don't you just broil a turkey, man?
I actually have a 25-pound turkey in my freezer right now.
Oh, nice. There you go.
That's what kind. When you
Ground
say
turkey's
turkey,
just
that's what I heard,
easier.
like a turkey. That's what I want to eat.
And ground turkey, is that mostly like thighs or is it the breast meat? Do you happen to know?
Whatever's left over.
I really honestly don't know. It's
That's
whatever
probably
they put in the
true.
container and I eat it.
Okay. Well, Bronson, this has been absolutely fantastic.
Yes, it's been great. Thanks, guys.
So thank you so much for joining us. So I have your Instagram, which is at
Yep.
BronsonDant72.
Yep.
And if you guys want to get a hold of him, yeah. And also if you go on the Dr. Fit and Fabulous site, right up at the top, there's a thing that says, we had the new Dr. Fit and Fabulous training method.
Yep.
You click on that, it'll take you to the page that talks all about the go ahead. You want-
Or better yet, you guys can buy $100 worth of Keto Chow products, and then you'll get a link directly from me that will send you there,
That's right.
and you can get a free month of the training method as well.
Yeah, and we talked about this. I think it was today in our live stream how we set this up, and originally you were sending like an invite to each person, and it was just fine. And then there was like this just way too many people coming in. Did not anticipate the success. So now we've got it where I'm sending Bronson a list of all the people he has to contact.
Yeah.
It works out a lot better. So originally it was going to be that people like you would sign them up. They wouldn't even have to put in their like payment information.
Right.
But because there's been such this overwhelming response, they do have to kind of sign up.
Right.
But they can cancel if they don't want to continue.
Yeah, so if you do this, you get the option on your site after they've spent $100. They get the option to add it, right? You'll send me the names. They'll get an email that says, here's your discount code.
Yep.
Here's the link to sign up. Here's your discount code for your first free month. You put your payment information in as if you were signing up, but you get your first month free.
Yeah.
And then you have 30 days from then to cancel if you don't want to continue. But you're going to want to continue because it's awesome.
Yeah.
And one thing we actually didn't say was you do a video on Mondays and Fridays, right? At least I.
So I do a weekly video. Every
video. I think I just saw it and it happened to be.
Yeah. So every week I do a video and I post it to everybody that's in there. And it's just a summary of what's coming up for the upcoming week. So what are we doing Monday? What are you supposed to do for that workout? What are we doing Tuesday? How do you target that workout? What are you doing when it just kind of goes through each one?
Well, and just a couple of adaptations too, I've noticed you've said for specific ones. So that's really nice too.
Yep.
Well, cool. Okay. Well, we've been going on for an hour, so.
Oh, man. Time flies when you're having fun.
I know.
I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. So, okay.
Help us see fitness in a different light.
And all you people out there in Facebook, YouTube, we even had someone join us on Periscope tonight. So,
hey.
But thank you all for joining us, and you guys all have a good night. So, bye-bye.
Bye.